Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my empties and low buy update for the month of March 2023. It's going to be a long one, so we need to just hop right in. There was a lot going out and a lot coming in, so let's just do it. First of all, I have one hair care product. I did finish the hair oil that I was using. This is from the brand Lucetta. I'm not familiar with this brand. It was at my local TJ Maxx, and I do tend to find that I can almost always find a hair oil that I like at TJ Maxx, and it's very close to my house. So I usually get my hair oil from TJ Maxx. This is just the macadamia oil hair moisture serum. It was good. I actually liked it a lot. I don't know if it's the best hair oil, but it did the job. I also finished a body scrub, a foaming body scrub. This is my favorite body scrub ever. I buy these at my TJ Maxx also. This was the scent Wild Mint. It was in my Panner's Pan project. I try to get every bit that I can out of it. I try. It's not easy when you're in the shower, but I really enjoy these. I do still have 2 more before they're all gone, but I prefer a foaming body scrub. I don't like regular body scrubs. I love foaming body scrubs, and I'm really glad I had it and I enjoyed it. I have my 3 little perfume empties from my advent calendar project pan. I went into detail about all 3 of these in my last update a few days ago, so I won't go over it all again, but without a doubt, the standout was the Viva La Juicy scent. I really loved that, and it went on my wish list. The other 2 I enjoyed, but they're not loves. And I am down 3 more perfume samples. This means I've finished a total of 9 samples so far this year. 1 more and I will earn a half point towards my low buy bank, but that's not going to happen today, sadly. So next month I should have a half point in my low buy bank for finishing 10 perfume samples. I finished 1 product for the face. This is a serum from First Aid Beauty. It's called the 10% Vitamin C Brightening Serum. I received this product complimentary, I believe, through Skeepers, Octoly, and I really enjoyed this. I like this a lot. I thought this was a really good serum. This one is only recommended for morning use, and I have mixed feelings about that. Part of me just wants one serum that I could use AM and PM, and the other part of me is like, if I'm going to use certain moisturizers for the day and different moisturizers for night, why wouldn't I do the same for serum? So I'm not sure where I land on this, but I would buy a full size of this if I needed a serum in the future. I really like this, and I thought it was good. It worked well under my makeup. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it other than the fact that it's for AM use only, which means I have to have a different serum for PM use. And that's a little bit high maintenance for somebody like me. But I managed. I do have some serums that I like. I definitely like a thicker, heavier serum at nighttime. And this was a perfect daytime serum. I have 3 makeup empties. The first one is this Milani Make It Dewy setting spray. This was not a love. I bought this, I think I was at my Walgreens, and Milani had like a buy 2 get 1 free sale going on. So I bought 2 of the Make It Last setting sprays, and I thought I would try this one because a lot of people were raving about this at that time. It was around 2019. A lot of people were raving about this on Instagram or YouTube. But this is not the kind of product I prefer for setting spray. I want something that sets my makeup, like locks it in. I don't care how much alcohol is in it. I tend to get oily as the day goes on. But this like has oil in it, and I could only use this for a few months out of the year. So I've been working on this for years, and this is the year I finally finished on it because I could only really use it like January, February, and March, and then I have to put it away again until the next January. So it probably took me 3 years to finish this. So it's not something I would want to repurchase. I'm glad I had a chance to try it out. I've just really discovered that these kind of oily, these setting sprays that have oil that kind of help make your makeup look less powdery is really not what I'm going for. This one, the Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray, I think it's the Milk Hydro Grip Setting Spray. they all kind of have that same effect, and it does look really good initially when I get done putting my makeup on, but as the day goes on, it breaks down my makeup much faster. And if I get like a spot, like if I want to like rub something, it will wipe off all of my makeup completely, and I will have no makeup wherever I touch my face. And it's very hard for me to not touch any part of my face in an 8-hour workday. I mean, it's virtually impossible. So basically, once I spray this on my face, any part of my face that I touch just takes the makeup right off. So glad to have this gone. Not going to repurchase. My last two empties are both empty pans in palettes that I'm working on. The first one comes from my e.l.f. 100 pan palette. This is my first empty of 2023 from this palette. I did finish off 5 pans completely last year when this was my Pan That palette. Upside down. And I wanted to keep working on it. I put this in Beauty A to Z again, and this is the first shade I've finished from this palette this year. Here it is right here. I am trying to finish off 10 shadows in this palette this year. Probably not gonna happen, but I'm happy to have finished that one. Ooh, don't drop it. And my final empty comes from this, I'm holding every palette upside down. My final empty comes from this e.l.f. Shimmer palette. I finished the peachy shade, which was the shade I think I liked the most out of this palette. Everything else is fine. I'm working on the whitest shade at this point right here because it is white, and I don't think it'll work on me once I start getting a little bit more color to my skin. So I'm trying to use it up now before I get a tan. But it's fine. It's fine. I just don't, I liked that peachy shade the most. It really blended into my skin nicely. So that is one that's down to. I did finish this around the 3rd or 4th week of March, and Liz has said multiple times, like, you are on track to finishing this entire palette this year. If you keep finishing one every 3 months, it'll be gone. And she's right, except once I finish the cream bronzer I'm working on, I'm probably going to put this aside to start working on my Saint Beauty, formerly Mascara Beauty, products, and I'll start working on that highlighter. So I'm trying to get as much progress in on this now until that happens. And I already have a dip going in this lightest shade. I've only been using it for a week, and I already have a dip going. These are these are pretty shallow pans, and I found them much easier to pan than other cream products within my stash. So I definitely picked this palette for some easy win and some points towards my low buy bank. So those are all of my empties. There's only 9. Let's move on to my low buy update. As of last month, my low buy balance was at a negative 103. That's not very good. And based on the empties I have today, I am going to give myself 4 points towards my low buy bank. So I'm going to give myself a point for the foaming body scrub. I did charge myself 2 points when I brought this in, so I'm giving myself a point to bring it out. I'm also going to give myself a point for each of these empty pans. And the 4th point I'm giving myself is for this Make It Dewy setting spray. I'm currently now at the point where setting sprays are not part of my low buy, but products that I had before I declared that, I'm still giving myself a point for when I finish them. And I've had this since 2018. So I'm going to give myself a point for this, although at this point moving forward, any new setting sprays that come into my collection won't have a points counted against them. And when I finish those products, I won't count any points, give myself points towards my low buy balance. But this one I'm going to give myself a point for. So that's 4 points towards my low buy bank, which would bring me down to negative 99 points. We would be out of triple digits. The only question is, did anything new come in? And the answer is, of course, something new always comes in. So let's talk about it. First of all, I have some makeup adjacent products that I want to talk about really quickly. My friend Tanya, who is also known as Irreverent Beauty, sent me a couple of gifts. She intentionally sent me things that were not makeup, that were not going to count against my low buy, which is so sweet. That was so thoughtful. This is a clear acrylic mixing palette, and this is kind of a stainless steel acrylic mixing palette. And then she got me this spatula, which I've already used. This came in handy. I'll be talking about why in just a minute. But thank you so much, Tanya, for sending these to me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to getting some use out of these. Next, I have a couple items that were Christmas gifts, well, actually birthday gifts, from my friend Melissa. I talked about a lotion that she gave me back in my January empties or December empties. It was months ago. And I got these gifts at the same time, and they've been sitting in my bathroom this whole time. And I just keep forgetting to pull them out when it's time to fill my empties because they don't fit in my empties drawer. And so they were sitting on top, and I just had total clutter blindness. Like, I didn't even see them there for a couple months. And finally I was like, Paula, you are gonna talk about these things and use them and enjoy them. So first of all, she gave me this Eco Tools Interchangeables eye kit. So it comes with one wand and then the different brushes. I have mixed feelings about this, and I'm wondering if any of you guys have bought this and what you think about it. I have a feeling, if I know me, because I'm lazy, okay? I tend to be a lazy person who goes for the path of least resistance. I'm guessing that what's gonna happen is I'm gonna pick one brush that I like, and I'm gonna keep that one brush on this base, and the other 6 brushes are never going to get used. We'll see if that's true or not, but I have a feeling that's what I'm going to do. But either way, I'm going to take this out of its packaging and try it out and use it and enjoy it because it was gifted to me, and it's just been sitting in my bathroom like this, all wrapped up, since like December. The other thing Melissa gave me were these cute little containers. They're like a ceramic makeup container. They have the Rae Dunn font, and this one says Wake Up Makeup, and this one has brushes on it. It's so cute. I currently use my empty candle, 3-wick candle containers to hold my brushes and stuff, but I'm probably gonna switch those out into these once this video is done and start using these. But yeah, I think these are so cute, and I can't believe I forgot to mention these for the last couple of months, and I'm so excited to finally be able to talk about them and open them up and enjoy them and use them in my bathroom. I have good friends who love me and know what I like. Okay, next, I bought a replacement hair oil. This is also from TJ Maxx. It's a different brand. It is the Shea Moisture Strength and Color Care Oil Serum. I'm not loving this. This is very, very thin and liquidy. I would prefer an oil that was a little bit thicker and heavier. And this one, I think, I'm not sure because I've only been using it for a week or two, but I think this one makes my hair greasier faster. So I really have to be careful about only putting this on the ends of my hair and not like putting it too high because I start looking really greasy. It could be something that's not related to this though. I'm not really sure, but it's fine. It's okay. Doesn't have much of a smell, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to enjoy it, but I probably wouldn't purchase this again. If these two were both sitting at my TJ Maxx side by side, I would reach for this one again and not this one. Although I think my favorite hair oil I've ever tried was from the brand Macadamia. I don't know. Is that what it's called? I think it's just the brand Macadamia. I could be making that up, but I think that's my favorite hair oil. But I'm going to use this and enjoy it. It's still pretty full. I got it from the clearance section. I think I paid $4 for it. So. Okay. I have a crap ton of stuff from Skeepers to talk about. I went a little crazy. I went a little bit crazy. So let's talk about all of it. First of all, I got a sample of this face oil from La Mer. I dump on every opportunity I can get to try out La Mer products because let's be real, I'm probably never going to buy a full-size La Mer product with my own money. So the only way I'm ever going to try these La Mer products is if I can get them for review. I actually really like this face oil. Is it that different than a much more affordable face oil? No, but I really like the smell. I can't quite put my finger on what the scent is, but it's kind of like a little bit of honey, maybe a little bit of floral. I don't know. I really like it. The bottle's already about half gone. I've been using it all month long as a nighttime moisturizer and I love it. I'm very grateful to be given opportunities to review products like that. And it's part of why I love doing this. I don't know what else to say. I always feel so lucky when I get to review products that are really, really expensive and I get little, they usually only give out samples from La Mer, but I get to have a nice generous sample of a product that I would never probably buy otherwise. I also got a serum. This is the Paula's Choice Boost Pro Collagen Multi-Peptide Booster for all skin types. It says once or twice daily, apply to face and neck. I've been using this. I've used it once daily and I've used it twice daily. I like it a lot. It's good. I'm a big fan of Paula's Choice. I know Wayne Goss has been recommending Paula's Choice for years and years and years. Sadly, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I don't think Paula's Choice is sold at Ulta or Sephora. So that's really the only reason why I'm not using their skincare exclusively. Because why wouldn't I use skincare that has my name on it? I mean, come on, it's Paula's Choice. I would have to, I would be compelled. Every time I try a Paula's Choice product, I like it. So yeah, when I saw this up on the Skeepers app, I jumped at the chance to review it and I really enjoyed it. Okay, up next. I received 5 Benefit products for review. So it was early in the morning. I was getting ready for work and I saw that Benefit had like these mystery products to review. And I was thinking, ooh, I bet it's new makeup from Benefit. This is so exciting. And there were 5 products and I thought, I'll go for all of them. We'll see what happens. I had no idea what these products were. It was just literally called Benefit Mystery Product or something like that. Like there was no picture, there was no description. It was like, we will tell you in a week what this product is, but if you want it now, you got to ask for it. And I was like, sure, let's roll the dice. It's like going to Vegas and gambling. It's the best thing I can compare it to is like you're placing a bet and rolling the dice. Maybe you get picked, maybe you don't get picked, maybe you'll like the product, maybe you won't. But it ended up being all skincare products from Benefit. Now, this has been flooding my feed on Instagram, so I'm sure you guys have seen all this by now too. But what they sent was a Speedy Smooth Quick Smoothing Pore Mask. And this is an amazing green color. There was a mask that came out a few years ago. I can't remember the brand, but I literally wanted it for the color because I just thought it was so pretty, which is probably not the best reason to buy a face mask, but this is very similar to that color. It's just like a pretty aqua green. There is this Get Unblocked Pore Cleaning Makeup Removing Cleansing Oil. There is this Good Cleanup Pore Purifying Foaming Cleanser. And then there is another mask. This is called the Deep Retreat Pore Clearing Clay Mask, and it is purple. And it dries to it doesn't initially look pretty, but it dries down to a very pretty purple. Again, not a good reason to buy a mask, but it's pretty. And then the final item is this little tub of Smooth Sip Lightweight Smoothing Moisturizer for pores. I believe this is a gel-based moisturizer. It feels like a gel. Okay, first of all, this has nothing to do with Benefit or Skeepers, but when the package arrived to me, all the boxes were super banged up and some of the bottles were actually dented. This is like a metal tin, and I don't know if you could see right there, but there's like a huge dent right there. Not the biggest deal, doesn't affect the performance of the product, but I was a little surprised to get something completely banged up. I don't know if it was the distribution department that was packaging it and did a poor job of packaging it. I don't know if it's my postal service who treats my packages like animals. I have no idea why, but these are very like kind of sensitive containers that must bend easily. Let's talk about the foaming cleanser first. It's good. Nothing too special about it, but nothing bad about it. It's a good foaming cleanser. It cleans my face. I will enjoy it. Yeah, I literally have nothing to say about it. It's just a cleanser. These are all kind of pricier, like mid-range products, and I don't see myself paying mid-range prices for a facial cleanser. I definitely feel like I'm the type of person to just go to the drugstore and buy a face cleanser at the most affordable price, like CeraVe or, you know, something like that. This is kind of a pricey item for what it is. Next, let's talk about the cleansing oil. I prefer a cleansing balm. This is just a personal preference issue. If you like a cleansing oil, you'll love it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm currently working on a cleansing oil as we speak, but the truth is I much prefer a cleansing balm. If I had to choose between the two, I would choose a balm over a liquid oil every time. So this is good, it works, but it's not my preference. Next, let's talk about this moisturizer. Like I said, I believe this is a gel-based moisturizer, and it has a nice light scent. I'm not a big fan of gel-based moisturizers in the winter, and I'm not a big fan of this twist-off lid packaging. I would much rather have any other packaging besides a twist-off lid, something with a pump, something with a flip-top lid. I don't like this twist-off lid packaging. It's cute, but I don't want to go through that every night. It sounds ridiculous, but it's just a bit much. That being said, it's a fine moisturizer. Again, not something I would necessarily want to spend mid-range prices on, but it's okay. And finally, we will talk about the two masks. I cannot tell you how far my heart sank when I opened that package and saw that there was not one, but two masks in that package. My mission has been to use up every mask I own and be done with masks. So the fact that there were two masks in this bundle was very disheartening. That being said, they're all right. They work, they're fine. I'm horrible at masking, but I didn't have a problem with either of these. I didn't see a big difference between either of these either. You would think if they were coming out with a line of skincare and there was two different masks, there would be a significant difference. But other than the color, I didn't really see a huge difference. Now, I think there was a difference in the frequency. Oh, that was the other thing. This purple one says leave on for 30 minutes or until dry. Pretty sure I fell asleep when I was using this because I can't stay awake for 30 minutes. I can't see it here on the packaging, but I feel like there was a difference in the frequency which they recommend using it. On this green one, it says use 2 to 3 times a week or as desired. And this one, you only have to leave on for 3 to 5 minutes. This one, I feel like had a different recommendation, maybe once a week, or I can't remember. I feel like this one had a different time frame, and this one you can leave on for up to 30 minutes. So I think it's safe to say that I will be reaching for this one much more often than this one just because of the time recommendation. But yeah, I was super disappointed to get 2 new masks into my collection. I didn't need them, and I didn't necessarily want them, but they're good masks, and I will use them. Okay, I have one more product that I received for review from Skeepers. This is the newest product that just came in about a week ago. It's another First Aid Beauty product. This is the Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer with Sunscreen. I will be inserting a little clip here of me applying this. I forgot to do it this morning, so I'll have to do it tomorrow morning. But basically, this is the closest product I have received that is like a real sunscreen. You guys know, I like a moisturizer with sunscreen. I tend to apply a moisturizer with sunscreen every single day. under my makeup as a moisturizer. Like I don't do moisturizer and sunscreen. I just do a moisturizer that has sunscreen in it every single day. And usually my makeup has some sunscreen in it as well. But most of the moisturizers with sunscreen look more like a typical moisture and feel more like a typical moisture. This looks and feels like a typical sunscreen. It is white. It is like the kind of white that when you apply it, it definitely leaves your skin looking shiny and leaves like a reflective cast on your skin. It is white. That being said, it reminds me of a traditional sunscreen. And if I give it a few minutes to soak in, it works great. My makeup applies fine on top of it. I haven't had any major breakouts with it. I have no complaints about it. But this is a little bit more like a typical sunscreen. Like if I was gonna go to the beach and not put makeup on, I'd wanna reach for this more than other sunscreens with SPF that I prefer to wear from day to day. Like this is heavy duty. Now this just has an SPF of 30, but this feels very heavy duty to me. But I do enjoy it, and I've been wearing it all week long. I haven't had any breakouts or anything like that, and it's been good. Okay, we have 2 more products that came in to talk about, and then this video is over. I went ahead and did my Back to MAC. I've been obsessing about the whole Back to MAC program ending for weeks and weeks now, and it is what it is. But I feel it's hard for me to put into words without sounding petty and silly, but I feel a little bit betrayed by MAC. Like I feel like we had an agreement. I will buy these products from you, and when I finish 6 of them, I will come back and you'll give me a free lipstick or an eyeshadow or a lip gloss. I feel like we shook hands on this agreement, and they're breaking up the contract. And I know it's silly because they can do whatever they want, but I've just been having a really hard time with the change because the truth is I'm not a big shopper of MAC anymore, but I do own quite a few MAC products that I've accumulated over the years, mostly in my 20s and 30s. I did talk to the lady at the MAC store, and it does sound like they are going to continue offering free products, but the incentive is going to be based on your purchasing, not on what you use up, which makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't plan on purchasing a lot of MAC products in the future. MAC is not cruelty-free. I don't feel like there's anything extremely unique about their products anymore. In fact, I felt kind of sad when I went into the MAC store. I haven't been to my local mall in years. I left the kids at home with my husband and I snuck off to the mall. I found an individual MAC store within my mall. For most of the shopping I did at MAC was in my local Macy's, which used to be Marshall Fields, but now my mall has a separate MAC store. And so I thought, I'm going to go to the MAC store. I'm going to take a look around and see what they got. And I was just kind of sad. Like, I feel like they used to have 4 times more eyeshadows than they do. I feel like I don't know. It just looked kind of sad to me. I don't plan to shop a lot at MAC, maybe occasionally. I'm not going to say never. But honestly, there's nothing really unique about MAC products other than their holiday collections. I do sometimes get a little swept up in their holiday collections, but yeah, we'll see. But I'm probably not going to take part in the modernized program that's incentivized based on what you purchase, because I just don't see myself buying a lot of MAC products in the future. So yeah, I had a hard time with the fact that MAC was changing their policies. And I just wanted to make sure I brought in whatever empties I did have and got whatever points I could. The reason Tanya, Irreverent Beauty, sent me these mixing palettes and the spatula is because she was sending me an old MAC lipstick to Back to MAC. She reached out to me and she said, I have 1 MAC lipstick that I was going to back to MAC eventually, but I only have 1. If you'd like it, I'd like to send it to you. And I was like, sure. I would love that. I'm not going to lie. So she sent me the MAC lipstick along with those mixing palettes. And so that was really sweet of her. When I pulled out my personal Back to MAC empties, I had 7. And then counting the lipstick that I got from Tanya, that brought me up to 8. So I needed 4 more MAC empties to get a second free product. So I went to my MAC singles and depotted 4 eyeshadow singles and added the empty packaging to my Back to Mac. So I ended up with 12 empties for Back to Mac, and I was able to pick up 2 products. I spent not a long time, but several minutes mulling over which combination. They did say I could pick certain lip glosses, certain lipsticks, and certain eyeshadows. I also discovered their soft matte formula, which was not part of the Back to Mac program. They're single eyeshadows in a soft matte formula, and boy, were they soft. I really like them, but that was not part of the Back to Mac. I also ran across my very first MAC lip gloss purchase, which was Oh Baby, but that wasn't part of Back to Mac, but that was the first lip gloss I ever bought from MAC, and I panned that entire sucker, and that was before I knew about the Back to Mac program, so I tossed the packaging, which just breaks my heart. But yeah, I had a little walk down memory lane, and the ladies were very kind at this store. One of them was a little bit pushier about trying to get me to buy something other than the Back to Mac exchanges. And for a second, I almost caved. It's like when your friend invites you to a Tupperware party. Like, you don't need Tupperware, and you didn't want Tupperware, but because you got invited to this Tupperware party, you now feel obligated to buy Tupperware you don't need or want. And I kind of felt like, for a moment, I was like, oh, I should buy something. I can't just come in here and just Back to Mac 2 products and not buy something. And then I was like, of course I can. That's what I'm here to do. They're the ones who change the rules. That's why I'm here. So I ended up not buying anything, but she almost got me. So long story short, I did end up getting 2 new MAC products through Back to Mac. They took their little Sharpie marker and crossed off the bottoms to make sure I don't, and I don't know why they would do that, because if they're not redeeming products for future, well, I guess it was still like, I guess it was technically still March 26 or something. I guess I could have done something in the last 4 days, but they did put X's on it to indicate that these were Back to Mac products. Okay, so here's the first item I picked out. This has been on my wish list for, I don't know, 6, 7 years, years and years and years. I've been wanting this lipstick. I first discovered the shade through my friend Mousy, my friend Christine, over on Instagram. If you guys know Mousy, Christine, let me know in the comments below. But she was a big part of my beauty community for many years, and she's a good friend of mine, and she's definitely one of the people who encouraged me to start a YouTube channel. And so I just love her. But she once posted a picture on Instagram of her wearing this shade of lipstick, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing on you. And I've been wanting it ever since. And it is the shade Cream in Your Coffee. And this is it right here. It's just kind of like a dark pinky nude. More pink than brown, but a little bit of brown. And I haven't tried it yet. It's still brand new. I got to take some pictures of it. But hopefully it looks as good on me as it did on her, because I just thought it looked amazing on her. And I wanted to get a neutral, but I definitely have a lot of light neutrals from MAC, and so I thought a darker neutral would be appropriate. I was definitely torn. For a moment I was like, ooh, maybe I should get this or that or that. And then finally I was like, no, this has been on your wish list for like 6 years. Get the lipstick that's been on your wish list for 6 years. And then the last product I decided to get was a single eyeshadow. And I've never heard of this shade before, but when I swatched it, I was swatching on my hand, and I swatched a bunch of shades, and I wasn't super impressed with any of them in particular, and I was kind of leaning towards one. It wasn't called blue brown, but it was like a blue brown duochrome, and I was like, oh, you do not need another blue brown duochrome, but it was so pretty. And then I looked back and saw this swatch, and I was like, wait, what is that? And I went back and found it and confirmed that this was it, and I was like, okay, who am I? I am a girl who loves a dusty rose. I will forever be a girl who loves a dusty rose. I should buy a dusty rose. But this shade is called Rose Before Bros. Rose Before Bros. I don't know if this came from a collection or what. I have no idea, but it just is a pretty dusty pink shade, and I thought it was very pretty by the swatches. That is everything that came in. That is a lot of new products that came in over the past month. I'm not going to count all of them against my low buy. thank goodness. But I am going to count the 2 MAC products against my low buy. I'm also definitely going to count the 2 masks against my low buy, and I'm going to count the moisturizer against my low buy. Everything else I feel like is within the boundaries of the products that I don't need to count against my low buy, but I am counting these 5 items against my low buy, which means that's 10 points I'm charging against my low buy. So for a recap, I started the month with negative 103 points. Out of the products I finished this past month, I decided to give myself 4 points towards my low buy. And out of all the new products that came in, I'm charging 10 points against my low buy, which leaves my updated balance at negative 109. I see all of your comments about starting fresh, you know, wiping the slate clean, giving up on my low buy balance system. And I hear all of you, and you know, I'm not saying never. I'm just saying that we're going to keep doing this for a bit longer and see where it ends up. I've heard a lot of people also say that it is impossible for me to dig myself out of this hole. And although you might be right and I might be in complete denial, I'm not ready to accept that yet. I want to stay in denial for a little bit longer. So we're going to keep going with this system, and I'm going to keep hoping that these numbers will start balancing out, and as I start finishing products and fewer things coming in. I've also had a lot of you guys say I should just quit, you know, Skeepers and Influencer, and I'm not ready to do that yet either. So I don't know where that leaves me, but we're going to just keep moving forward one step at a time, and we're going to see where this goes, because I do think, as I proved with my video talking about whether my low buy is actually working, I do think things are working. My overall numbers are going down with the amount of stuff that I have. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, we're just going to see where the chips fall and keep moving forward. So I do appreciate all the comments, and I see all the comments. I don't know if I have the mental capacity to respond to all of those comments, because sometimes it's overwhelming and it's hard for me to explain myself in comments like, yeah, but I do see them all, and I am taking all of the constructive criticism into consideration. How's that? So that is going to be it for this Empties and Low Buy update for March of 2023. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.